Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Junior Gold 2021 here from Indianapolis. My name is Mike Flanagan, and we'd like to welcome you into the Junior Gold Championships. We are set up at 4 different bowling centers here this year. I am hanging out at Strike Force lanes where I have the U18 girls participating. Just got done with a squad of U18 girls a little bit earlier today, and I've got 3 other guys out there also streaming with me. We've got 4 channels on Bowl TV in each bowling center. So I'm going to bring in the crew right now. Let's bring in Jason Thomas.
Hello, Michael.
Aaron Smith is also working. And Curtis Von Kruger, who was standing up and national anthem maybe.
Oh, yes. He does not kneel for the national anthem.
But folks, we've been streaming today, and we're continuing to stream for you from 4 different bowling centers, 16 total feeds. We're also live here on Facebook and YouTube currently, giving you a nice preview of Junior Gold. We'll be here with you for the first game of a 4-game qualifying block. And we'll take you out to the lanes full screen here as all the centers are just getting underway with competition.
I always love the national anthem. Good stuff.
I will tell you a story about the national anthem, Curtis. I had a young man. I was caught in the restroom as the national anthem started playing in the earlier 11:30 round, and I finished up my business, walked out, and he was waiting to use the air dryer because he didn't want the air dryer to go off during the national anthem. So he was standing there with his hands dripping and did not dry his hands until the end of the national anthem. I thought that was very, very nice of him.
That's very aware. That's nice. That's nice. That's good stuff.
It was.
It's really nice to see all the kids line up at the foul line and turn their sights to the flag, and just reminds you what a great country we live in and how thankful I am and how thankful everybody is, I'm sure, to be doing this. You know, I mean, it just obviously the last year we realized that things are fleeting and they can be taken away, and we have no control over that. We can think we have all the control in the world, but the reality is we don't. So let's be thankful for what we have when we have it. And I'm thankful to watch some bowling today. Some good bowling. The U12, man. These kids over here at you don't know where they're at. They're at All-Star right now. We got U12 going to be lighting this place up for the whole week. It's a good time.
Yes, sir. We're starting out here in the bowling center that I've been hanging out at here at Strike Force, 32-lane bowling center. Currently right now we have 30 of those lanes in use, lanes 3 through 32. And we've got 16 of those 30 lanes for you here on the live stream. We're starting off on the channel over on Bowl TV that we call Strike Force 1, which are lanes 9 and 10, 11 and 12. U18 girls, as we said, and we just came off of a squad here in this building with the U18 girls, and I've got some scores from that squad and that squad alone for you to give you an idea of pace of play and scoring pace. Anna Maxwell totaled 865 for her 4 games. Second was Victoria Verano at 851. We had a tie for third at 830 between Zoe Payon and Katrina McCarthy. Also averaging over 200, 800 being the number to be at 200. In fifth was Olivia Dujatis at 807. Alyssa Ballard was 6th at 804. 7th was Brianna Rogers at 802. Those are the only players plus earlier today, and we had 149 young athletes on the squad here at Strike Force. Also, there was other events happening all throughout the land here in Indianapolis. This just, of course, just being a peek at just one of the bowling centers that we're using. Again, if you didn't listen on the open or you missed it, Curtis Von Kruger is over at All-Star. Jason Thomas is over at Western. and Aaron Smith is over at Expo Bowl. We also have a few other centers being utilized here for Junior Gold this year, as it's the largest youth bowling event in the world. And not just 4 centers can handle everything, but we are at the centers that are strategically placed for live streaming, so that throughout the rest of the event, we'll be able to bring you the cut rounds, which, by the way, is advertised in the rules as a 1 in 7 will advance. We don't know the number yet because we don't know how many players are actually going to be here for Junior Gold. We know how many are scheduled to be here, but there are no shows that come into play. And we will have all of the advancers rounds for you as well as the 4 days of qualifying. 16 total games over 4 days, 4 per day, per bowler. And then we'll have advancers and match play, and then we'll have our live streamed finals coming up Saturday right here on Bowl TV.
Can't wait.
That's going to be a good time. You're not going to want to miss that. Seriously.
JT is going to cut the show and produce one of the most magnificently put together broadcasts in the history of bowling. Not only once, not twice, but 3 times a lady. He will do that for us on Saturday. And if you're wondering how beautifully lit the set is going to be, and the human gimbal himself, Curtis Von Kruger, along with our man Andrew from USBC Communications, who just does an amazing job with his cameras all the time, doing some documentary work as well that you'll see well after Junior Gold is over.
And our own Bob Costas going to be calling the action.
Maximum Bob Costas, just to get Jason Thomas a little excited with the first word and all that. Yeah, I get the privilege to be able to be on the air and call it with the Hall of Famer Carolyn Doran-Ballard, all 3 finals. So, but we got a lot of work to do before we get there, guys.
Oh yeah. Alyssa, I heard she had a pretty decent day, as you were just stating.
Yeah,
so far today.
She's 4 over.
Hey, that's some solid work right there.
She's in 6th, just from this squad. So
it's in the blood. It's in the blood.
Yeah, even is a great score.
Yeah.
We've seen, a couple squads on the floor. What have you guys seen as far as, the most success in terms of playing this pattern? We saw, Curtis, you got to see Mateo Quintero, who we interviewed at the end of our last squad, shoot 157 over in the U12 division, which is
Jason,
6 points higher than the leader was in the U20 division last week.
It is unreal. He created space. I mean, it was kind of an unfair advantage. He gets so much more revs and speed down lane. He can play in parts, and he didn't have to change balls. He could literally stay in the same part of the lane for pretty much most of the day because nobody else was there. So once he got comfortable with that fast pitch, it was just repeat. And if you notice how he gets to the line, he's really, when you see Jason Belmonte, and I'm not, obviously, he's no Jason Belmonte yet, but when you see Jason Belmonte, his eyes are always forward. Everything's moving forward at the same time when he posts through his shots. There's very little hinging at the waist as he gets through the shot, and Mateo is very much like that. So it allows him to be super consistent through the ball. So he was able to kind of get in and wheel it, probably playing around 18, 19, and just getting it out and bringing it back. It was beyond impressive.
And then I've seen a few of the players in my bowling center here at Western have success throwing urethane between first and second arrow. And that seems like a very smart play. Over here, how about the girls divisions? What are you guys seeing in your centers with the girls? who are watching right now, actually.
I'll go. Playing outside of the second arrow, the 10th board, the higher the rev rate and or the lower the ball speed, the more they have to have their feet a little bit further to the left and eyes closer to 10, sending it out to about 3. The lower the rev rate and the higher the ball speed, I've seen these young athletes out around 3, 4, 5, and some even flirting with 2. We're seeing big asymmetrical balls with a lot of fur on them, meaning lower grit Aberlon or True Cut pads or sandpaper or whatever you'd like to call your surface device. And then I've also seen a little bit of urethane go down the lane for those that have lower ball speeds and higher rev rates, that combination.
The one thing you can't do on this shot right now is miss in. You don't want to get it in early. It does not bear good results. I'll say that. A lot of front of the lane hooking a little early if you get it in, and you're taking 3 off the left or right, wherever, if you're left or right-handed. But Nick Hoagland did not make this easy for these young athletes, and I appreciate that. It requires one, a solid foundation of spare shooting, but further than that, it really reinforces the need for a solid mental game, to not get frustrated, to keep your head in the game and understand that you're going to have some bad frames, understand that some things are not going to go your way, but if you have the ability to stay focused, pick up your spares, hey man, you can make things happen, even if that 140 or 130 comes creeping along. And quite honestly, it probably will.
I can't remember, guys, seeing a pattern. And I've been watching U18 boys pretty much, the majority of the day here, where urethane looks so much better than reactive with the rev rate and all. It just, urethane just looks, it looks like they're bowling on a completely different condition with urethane than they do with reactive. Like you said, Curtis, if they just miss in a touch, it just breaks loose. It almost misses a head pin left. If they move left off of that and miss right, it misses a head pin right. But then when you throw urethane, it just blends the whole thing out and makes it look like they're bowling on a, pretty not a league shot, but something that where the ball doesn't do crazy things when you miss.
No, you can actually see the motion and you can make adjustments off of it, because like you kind of alluded to, if you're throwing reactive, sometimes you throw what you think is a good shot and it does something you don't expect. And when you're in a situation like that, adjustments become difficult, then you're guessing and then you're behind. And then you get frustrated because you're behind, and so you guess even more, and it's just a snowball effect. But if you can understand your ball motion and when you make a good shot, it does what you expect it to do. That allows you to stay ahead of the adjustments and keep into the pocket at least. And it's definitely very interesting to see out here. And I have noticed that exactly the same. It is unexpected, but I really want to see how this plays out as they start to change patterns throughout the week.
We did have a question in the chat regarding why are some of the players wearing numbers on their backs? And that's a great question because I didn't even know this, but I found out at the trade show. There's a lot of colleges here to recruit bowlers, and it was really hard to do that by just trying to remember names and who did what. So players could go register over at the collegiate bowling booth. I believe it was the JT may need to help me on this. The Don Williamson's booth. Is that the NAIA booth? It was a collegiate bowling booth of some sort. I get all the letters and whatever messed up.
Yeah,
but
NAIA. That is the correct.
That makes sense, right? Yeah.
Acronym.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had another one over there too, another 3-letter thing over there. But needless to say, it's a program that was built so that college coaches could come in, look at a player, say, "Oh, I'd like to find out more about this player." They could put down the number, and then that number is entered into the system, and they get contact information on how to reach out to that player after the event. It's a really beautiful thing that somebody thought of. Not me, but somebody thought of this, and it's been working out beautifully. So it's a recruiting tool. So if you see that on their backs, that means, hey, I want to bowl in college. Hit me up, coaches.
Where can I get my number jersey?
Exactly.
Where do I get my jersey? I want to bowl in college. Can I go bowl in college? I think I have years of eligibility.
So as we said, we've got 4 different bowling centers for you. 4 of us located all over the Indianapolis area, 16 streams. And I believe we're going to take things over to JT's bowling center. He doesn't own it. He just owns it for a few days. Western Bowl, where I think we've got some pretty good bowling going on, don't we, JT?
These young guys on 41 and 42 own it right now. They're cracking them. We've got Nick Tanis. He's got spare 5-bagger. Micah Gloom. He's got spare 4-bagger. Tyler Michelle. He's got spare turkey. We've got Christian Staley with 97 in the 5th and a strike, so possible 247. And Callum Meredith with spare 4-bagger. He's about to get up on the left lane. And Hayden Hadley is the 6th player in the group. But out of everybody I'm watching, it looks like Callum has the best ball reaction. He's 2-hander, throwing urethane right up the gutter. And watch this ball.
Ooh. Come on now.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're cracking them.
And I love the hairdo as well. So if you're gonna bowl, if you're gonna bowl like that, you can do it in style.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I mean, there have been some high scores, bowled today, and especially that second block, we had some pretty big scores. And as we saw at the U.S. Open, the bowlers, the word gets around quickly as to where the right place to play is and what to throw. And by the time we get to the second and third squads of the day, these players have a very good idea, if they've been paying attention, what they should do to try to score. And if they know there's some score out there, there are going to be some players that are going to figure it out and really hit them hard. And I think that's what we're seeing right now.
You gotta have a man on the inside, Jace. Gotta have some gouge coming out for you.
And then, we've also got, as I mentioned, Nick Tanis. He's a lefty throwing reactive up the gutter, and he's got an incredible look right now. He's got a spare 5-bagger. He's about to get up here in the 7th frame, possible 290 out of the gate.
Last I checked, that's not bad.
No.
Let me do the quick math. Oh yeah, that's not bad.
10 back.
I mean, it looked like the sweep had already gone. Oh, wow. It's like you're looking at Team USA on 41 and 2.
I know. This is good stuff.
That's fun to watch. Little 2-8-10 action there. Mike, I think they're conspiring against me. I'm set down here by this snack bar here at All-Star, and all I smell is butter and garlic. And I can't eat any of it.
Yeah, they're making pizzas here.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Braden over here on lanes 13 and 14. If you're going to watch, you can watch him on All-Star Channel 1. Just do a nice shot. Slacked out to 10. Working on a 3-bagger. Braden York. Oh, come on. Double. Oh. Thought he was going to get the double messenger there, Flanagan. All right, I got to watch this kid that's coming up on 41 right now again. Look at how his hips drive through the ball. Do you see that? He creates so much power, and I think he's working on Yeah, he's working on a 7-bagger now. That's not a bad start to your day. Seven in a row there, Jace.
Yeah, we may see an 858 out of the gate from 3 of these players. Well, that's
Still got that one in.
Oh, okay.
All right. Hey, you know what? The best
Can't miss.
The best thing you can do for yourself now is throw a really good shot.
Yeah. They just can't miss.
Yeah, you know, you got to feel bad if you're the guy who's shooting like 2-0 and you're like last on the pair by a large margin.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I felt when I bowled the U.S. Open one year. All right, here's this kid coming up on the left lane, 42. Shred. Oh, whoa.
That's a bad break.
That is, somebody check that rack, 5-7.
He's looking over at Nick Tannis saying, "Dude, really? You carried that hit on my side, and I hit the same pocket that you just hit, and I leave a 5-7."
I didn't even know it was possible for that kid to leave a 5-7.
I know.
Is he going to get it? Oh,
Yeah, gave it a nice run.
I mean, I'm sure he'll take his 240 or 250 and be quite satisfied.
Well, we can't forget Tyler here. He can still shoot 278. Just gets a touch in. You know, he's throwing reactive, so a little deeper. He might be seeing some transition already. You know, the funny thing about that is, and you know, I think that's why we see the band urethane folks out there. You know, if you grew up with reactive transition, it's basically just chase it left, right? Whereas urethane, That's not how it works. Urethane is more of a, you chase it right for a while, and then you jump left. And so, it's very different.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
Yeah, because things start to push down first, and then the heads burn, and then you got to make the zonal move.
Yeah, and then you've got, when you move in, you've got this pile of oil down lane that you can't get the ball around.
No, it was funny. People hate change. That's really what it's all about. Because, I mean, you can probably attest to this as well, JT. When reactive started coming out, really proliferating in the early 90s, how many people were out there, ban reactive? It shouldn't be used. Nobody should use reactive. Let's keep it, plastic and rubber and urethane.
Great start for Nicholas Tanis. He shoots 289. And
wow.
Out of the gate, big time here at Junior Gold.
That's a way to kind of set the nerves aside, huh?
Let's see if Callum can bounce back after that unusual 5-7 he left in the ninth.
I think he does. I think he just shreds it. Splits the 8-9 right here.
Boy, he's got good fundamentals.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Really solid. Great balance. Great rhythm.
Great power through his legs.
Yep.
You can see him, like I said earlier, driving through that shot, but not getting. You can't get your legs ahead of yourself, or your balance is going to be all off. And he just keeps everything nice and through the shot, everything moving forward. And I'll tell you what, that's he throws a heck of a ball. If he can continue to grow and develop, he's got the physical game. Go forward.
Yeah, and what he's doing here early shows me that he knows a little something about lane play too.
Look at that.
It's great. I mean, he's playing very straight angles. When you see a two-hander that can play straighter angles, they have the potential to be a really good player, because they can get in left and just hook it as much as they want anytime. But if they have both of those pieces to where they can hang in there, and maybe he's shooting 250 this game with playing pretty straight up the gutter. Like you said, Curtis, I think he could be a talent to watch for.
Well, if you think about it, look at a guy like Kyle Truth, right? Always could get in and wheel on it, but his explosion over the last couple of years only came when he started adding other tools to his tool belt. And one of those things was really trying to start to straighten out his angles a lot, something that he spent a lot of time working on. And so I think you're absolutely right. You have to be able to do more than one trick. You either got to be the best in the world at doing one thing, or you got to be really, 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 really good at doing a lot of things. And it's hard to be the best in the world at doing one thing. Let's just all say that. So, but I think it just goes to show you because the two-handed style is still very, and the relative timetable of bowling is still very new. But you can start to see that progression and growth happening quicker and quicker with players as they start to understand what they need to be doing to be successful.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, in the pre-90s era, you really didn't, they put the lane condition out, and that was what you bowled on for the week. So you could start at the gutter and play the gutter all week, and if you like playing the gutter, that was really good for you. Whereas now, even this tournament here, we're going to have 8 different patterns that the kids are going to see. So you have to be versatile in order to have a chance to compete. But even if it were just one pattern, and we let them bowl, a large number of games, you'd have to be versatile just to win on that, just because of how much lanes transition nowadays. So you can't just throw it one way and expect to do well. You have to be versatile if you want to be competitive.
Yeah, back in the day, you had a couple of different, you had the guys that you knew were always going to be there week in, week out. Then you have the guys, that other group of guys that they had to match up. You had to match up perfectly, and then they had a pop. But now you start to see a lot more often the same, it takes versatility. You're not going to match up often perfectly. And so I really like to see that these young kids are learning more about lane play, or learning more about equipment at an early age. And so they're not pigeonholing themselves into one style or one particular form of the game. And I think it'll only benefit them long term. All right. If you have been watching on YouTube and Facebook Live, we hope you've enjoyed the Bowl TV preview here of Junior Gold. We are now going to be switching back over to Bowl TV. So if you want to continue to watch your family members, friends, or just the incredible athleticism of these young bowlers, go to Bowl TV, get a subscription. You can buy a monthly subscription at $9.99 a month. You can do an event pass for $14.99, JT? And
that's correct.
And then a yearly subscription if you want to just commit to the numerous hours of content that we will be putting on bowltv.com, including the PWBA Tour. $79 for a yearly subscription. So go out there, $79.95, check it out. But otherwise, have a wonderful afternoon, Facebook Live and YouTube, and hopefully we'll see you on Bowl TV. Really, honestly, $9.99 a month for the just hundreds of hours of content, instructional content, all the great competition. Really can't beat it. Really can't beat it. If anybody wants to check out some quality U12 bowling, hop on over to All-Star Channel 2. Check out Braden York. Going to be the A player on lane 17 and 18. Apologies, 19 and 20 are out of play. We would normally be streaming that pair. It has been taken out of play this round. We'll be trying to get that pair back up as soon as possible. We apologize for that, but nonetheless, still got some incredible bowling to catch. All right, here we are. Here is All-Star lanes here for our U12 division. Looking at lanes 15, 16, 17, and 18. Braxton Wynn here, going to be coming up here on lane 15. Check out how this kid throws the ball. Very solid fundamentally.
I have to say, he carries the 4.57 better than I do.
which isn't saying much.
Ooh, shots fired. Oh, shots fired, sir. I didn't
Just
say
happy
anything.
someone gets that hit.
At least somebody gets that hit.
Folks, thanks for joining us. We're just finishing up game number 2 here. We are watching my favorite division right now, U12 boys here. U12 girls also my favorites to watch. It's just amazing to me to see how great these young kids throw the ball.
They're the future of the sport, Mike. They are the future of the sport.
Look at this backswing. Look at the torque. Stays down through it.
Oh, yeah. I love the way this kid throws the ball right here. Once he learns how to get things under control a little bit, got that kid and play haircut going too.
Yep.
It's incredible. When you have that much power at such a young age, it's really hard to control it, but once you start being able to get into that strike zone, keep the pitches over the plate, look at that. You got too much power right now, Mike.
Yep. Needs to move his feet a little bit to the right, in my opinion. Curtis, one of the things here in this building that's been talked about, I was talking to Ronnie Horton and Bo Gergen a little bit ago.
Good old Ronnie.
Yep. I was talking to those guys about the length of this pattern, and they both think it's 46 to 47 feet in length over here in my U18 bowling center here, Strike Force. And I don't think it's quite that long.
No.
But they do. And it is hard to get the girls' bowling balls to hook. We won't get out until the end of the tournament, of course, as the lane patterns aren't posted. Also, if you're just joining, it's 5 bowling balls per person that you check in, and that's what you get for the week.
Better make do.
Bowlers also bowl across 4 different patterns during qualifying. Every day is a new pattern. And then each round after that is a new pattern.
So what's your arsenal strategy? You bring in a big ASIM.
Yep, with surface.
A couple sims, a urethane, and a plastic ball.
I would say big asymmetrical ball for sure with surface. I would say a symmetrical ball with surface. A symmetrical ball maybe with lane shine or a different layout. A urethane ball. And then that 5th ball
most important
is, well, I don't know. If you can throw a urethane ball at your spares, I'm not bringing a plastic ball.
Man.
Urethane ball goes pretty straight. You know what I mean? I know a lot of them have surface these days, but I'm being nice to it at the bottom, and I'm throwing a urethane ball at my spares so I can get one more tool in my bag.
Yeah, that's definitely a strategy. I always dead-handed at spares anyway, so I always could throw a reactive or something, my strike ball pretty much at my corner pins for the most part. But if you can bring that extra look to your bag, gives you a lot more options, but I don't know.
Curtis, let's do this. If you were going to bowl this event, what 5 balls would you bring? I'll go first. Okay?
All right.
Okay. First ball I got to have in my bag is the rose ball. Clear ball with the rose in it.
100%. 100%.
And then just because I don't want to kill myself carrying the balls in and out, I'm going to bring in the physical education bowling ball that you use in the homeschool program, and that rubber ball.
Yeah,
doesn't weigh very much because I don't want to hurt my shoulder carrying everything in. So, and I know the rose ball strikes a lot. Then I would try to find maybe on eBay or something, and even if it costs a lot, it's junior gold, so it's worth it. I would definitely get a crown jewel, the gold one. Gold crown jewel. I would drill that up. That way, it's got a little mica in it. It's got the flakes in it.
Absolutely.
That'll pick up a little bit sooner on the lane. And then I think I would design some sort of either on-the-ball bowling ball or a Brunswick. I think a couple companies make those balls that you could put whatever you want on the ball.
Yeah, the Visiball kind of thing.
And I'd probably put my family on one side and try to get the whole family's pets together for a group photo sometime, prior to Junior Gold, and get a photo of that, put that on there. Or maybe a score sheet of my 300 game, my first 300 game or something like that on one side of it, just so I can look at it and get some confidence to know that my family's behind me. my pets are behind me, or that I've been able to bowl 300 before. Why can't I do it at this event?
Yeah, no, I think that's
Well,
I
that's
think you got-
4.
I think you got a good progression through that arsenal.
Yep.
I really do. I personally would opt for I just go to my local pro shop and pick up one of those balls that has all the holes in it that you fill out. You find your specs.
The measuring ball.
Yeah, the measuring ball. I mean, because if your thumb starts to swell up a little bit,
You just switch.
you just switch it out. And then I would go. I mean, I know the rose ball is such a classic. I think of Kingpin, but
Yeah.
I'm going with the skull ball.
I figured you would.
I mean, come on. I got heads got to roll.
Yeah.
Heads have got to roll.
Yeah.
Oh man. And
Yeah,
then
my final ball that I would use in case I bowl on the long pattern and I need hook is I would probably hit up Johnny Petraglia and see if I can't get an LT48.
oh god,
See if he's got a fresh one in the box in his basement.
that's might as well just give you the title right then.
Could you imagine if you showed up to this event seriously with a crown jewel, a rose ball, an LT48, some sort of on-the-ball bowling ball with a bunch of different designs on it of your family and stuff?
I mean, it would certainly be some choices right there. It would be some choices.
You know what? This is actually a good tip right here. I just thought of this. You should, if you're going to bring a plastic ball, you should get one of those balls designed, and you should have all the notes of all the things you need to remind yourself when you're bowling that you struggle with. That you got to take a deep breath, pre-shot routine, all those sorts of things, and draw it on a notepad, and then make the ball with all your notes on the ball. You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
There you go.
Why bring a journal or why bring a notepad when you can just have all of your advice to yourself right on the spare ball? I'm actually going to suggest that to Shannon O'Keefe. You've seen people before, they write like on the tape, like on a piece of white tape, and then they put it on their shoe.
Ken McNeely used to do that.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? We just put it right on the ball.
Yeah, just right there. Always remind yourself.
Now, the good news is everybody that's entered this tournament is smarter about building a 5-ball arsenal than I just was. And that just goes to show how smart these youth bowlers are.
Absolutely.
Tell us in the chat, what 5-ball arsenal would you bring?
Somebody asked in the chat if the approaches over here are wood, and the answer is yes. Yes, they are, which can provide a different challenge for players. If you're not used to bowling on the wood approaches, they can cause some sticky issues. They're very susceptible to weather changing. Humidity outside affects the way that you slide. So just another little obstacle, something else that they may not be comfortable with.
Yeah, the biggest thing you got to look for here is when you go to take the oiling machine off the lane and go to the next lane, at times there can be excess oil on the brush or just around the tank of the machine. And when it moves from lane to lane, you can get some oil leakage at the foul line, which will discolor the foul line, and you slide into where that oil is. So you will see every mechanic always have a towel with them, and if there is some leakage or spillage, whether it's synthetic or a wood approach, will wipe the approach when they go lane to lane.
Yes, sir. And you can see at the foul lines here at All Star. Those are not dirty approaches. This place is very meticulous at the way they clean their maintenance schedule they have here. Since this bowling center has been acquired, they've done a great job here. But that's just use. You know, it accumulates over the years. Doesn't matter how many times you resurface them. Doesn't matter what cleaning product you use on them. It's just it's character.
All right, folks, we're going to take an opportunity to switch up the stream here. We're going to go over to Expo Bowl and watch the U18 boys competing right now. So everybody hang tight, and we'll be watching a past junior gold champion coming up next. All right, we are now at Expo 3, Expo Bowl on the high side of the house, also known as A side for those looking at their junior gold schedule. And the young player who we're going to be watching won a U12 title here in Indianapolis in 2016, Edgar Burgos.
We had a good question here. We were talking about arsenals real quick, Aaron. James asked, hey, can a bowler add a bowling ball to their arsenal if they have a new ball drilled up, if they came in with 5? And we established that once practice is over and you've checked in 5 balls, that's what you have for the tournament, right?
That is correct. I believe there's the only way a new ball can come into play is if the tournament director decides that if a ball gets damaged somehow to a point of, it's severely affected and will affect how the ball rolls and essentially takes a bowling ball out of your hands. That is the one exception.
Now you can add if you don't check in 5 balls, say you check in 4 balls, and then you decide to drill another ball from a local pro shop.
Mm-hmm.
If you provide that purchase receipt and show that it was drilled at a local pro shop, you can't, and you have not checked in your full arsenal, and you have a spot left in your bag, you can add that one.
Correct, yes. And that is part of the daily announcements as well. Just so folks are on top of that, especially day one. This is the big day for checking equipment. And
it's interesting to see especially the U12 kids. A lot of them, this is their first really big tournament that they bowled. It's fun. It's fun to see them kind of acclimate to wait, I have to write the bowling balls I use down, and I have to put all this information on my sheet. How does this work? What do I need to do? And those are the first steps, man. Those are the by the time you get to college or if you bowl at any competitive level, those things will be second nature to you, but it's just a quick reminder that you're not innately born with that information. And it's great that a program like Junior Gold starts to acclimate them to that kind of thing.
I would agree that we saw the process right at 6 a.m. today. So right as the 7 a.m. squad was allowed into the building, they were ready to check equipment, check in, register. Pretty crazy sight to see. It's actually pretty awesome to see when you stroll up at the center at 5:55 and there's a line of young athletes just waiting to come into the facility.
It's funny because we've been doing some live streaming for a minute, right, Aaron?
A minute or two.
And we're usually the first people in the building.
Not me.
Well, we're not talking. Do you even count Flanagan? Do you even count Mike?
I'll give credit to the lane guys. Usually the lane guys beat us.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That is true. That is true. But it's weird when I get here and I see a parking lot full of cars. It makes me feel like I am late. It gives me an anxiety attack when I see so many people at a bowling center and I have not arrived yet. But to what you were saying, a bunch of young, eager athletes coming in and getting ready to bowl, and they're ready to get out here and compete.
That they are.
Guys, I got about 70 players over here bowling, and I've got standings after 2 games in the U18 girls division. Megan Kennedy is 45 over after 2. Jennifer Klontz is 37 over after 2, along with Kathleen Edwards. 4th is Brooklyn Boudreau 24 over. I believe she just dominated teen masters.
I believe so.
500 pins or so.
Sounds about right.
Melanie Hilbert is plus 10. That's your top 5 and the only players plus over here at Strike Force.
Strike Force.
Buddy bands.
I do have an update here from Expo. I was watching a young competitor in the U18 boys division. He started his second game with the front 8 before he left a 10 pin. Billy Rivera, out of the gates, 505 for his first 2.
That ain't bad.
Not striking quite as much in game 3, but filling his frames, and very impressed with Billy's game. He can put a little bit on it.
Put a little pepper on it.
And it's looking like, he was more than likely using urethane here. He's bowling on the B side squad, but playing pretty direct, but not afraid to get mean to the bowling ball at the bottom of the swing. And he was throwing some pins around that game, and I think is going to be a contender this week moving forward. Looked really tough out there.
It's funny. The more I watch these other centers as we kind of roam from center to center, it just makes what Mateo Quintero did today even more impressive. U12 bowler going 150 over for his first block. Come on.
That is awesome.
Come on. For 4.
That is phenomenal.
But I tell you what, it's you can't have that without a really an intention to more difficult lane patterns, and it really starts there. Like these kids are not, when they're bowling at home, they are not bowling on house shots. They are bowling on sport compliant shots. They are bowling on PBA patterns and other things like that. And if you want to feel good about yourself, go bowl in a house shot. You got 5 or 6, 7, 8 boards a room, and call it a day. But if you want to get better and you want to see really how well you throw the ball, bowl on a flatter pattern. Bowl on something that is not a 4-to-1 ratio. Bowl on something that's a 2.5 or something like that ratio inside out, and then that'll give you a really good idea of where you are. And that's what these kids do. They're bowling these elite level tournaments. They're coming to junior gold. They're going to youth masters. They're bowling the EYTs. Now obviously the PBA has its PBA junior program as well. And you're just going to see that improve. You're just going to continue to see that grow.
Well, folks, we're trying to switch over to Strike Force. Mike had mentioned Brooklyn Boudreau throwing some strikes and apparently doing so right now. And we're just about set to get there. All right, Mike, take us away.
Yeah, so we've got Brooke here. We mentioned how well she bowled at Teen Masters. And now here she is working on 290. And comes in a little light for 2-pin, but obviously we'll stay here, see if she can finish out with 269.
Look at those fundamentals.
Yeah, it goes to Arkansas State, sophomore.
Justin.
Yeah, Coach Justin Kostick is here. We were just having a conversation.
Oh, tell Justin Curtis Von Kruger said hi. I used to run around with that kid when he'd come and watch Hugh out on the tour back in the 90s. We'd get into trouble, cut it up, have a good time. Oh, man, it's weird to think I've known him for almost like 25, 30 years now. Goodness gracious. Where does the time go, Mike? Where does the time go?
I don't know where it goes. I was looking at some Facebook timeline updates telling me what I was doing a couple years ago at Junior Gold.
What did Jillian Martin finish at for the day?
Unsure.
All right. Coming up here on lane 16. Look at her come through the back of that. Just, oh. Wow, and just like that, we are in game 4 over here. She has pretty quick feet there, Mike.
Same way every time.
What'd she finish up with? 250?
259.
Yes. That'll add some pins to your score. Got a stylish jersey as well. Love it.
I'd like to move back to Expo Bowl as Game 3 wrapped up from Strike Force. There's a couple shots left of game number 3. Here at the 2021 Junior Gold Championships taking place at 6 centers in the Indianapolis area. This is day 1 of 4 of qualifying for the young athletes. A couple 4 games per day for 16 total games of qualifying. We'll then cut to an advancers round in the U15, U18, and U12 divisions. It'll be a little bit different after that. The U15 and U18 will bowl another 5 games before a second cut is made. And then there will be a final advancers round, another 5 games, and 26 game totals will determine the 16 players making it to match play. In the U12 division, their advances round is only 4 games. And then after that, they cut from 20 game pinfall totals, they cut to the top 8 for match play. Match play does consist 2 game total pinfall matches. The bracket is double elimination. And the top 3 who navigate their way through the bracket will earn a spot in the stepladder finals. And something a little different here in 2021 with the finals being broadcast right here on BowlTV.com. We will have a true double elimination format in the stepladder finals, so the top seed would have to be defeated twice. Looks like we'll be transitioning into game 4 here momentarily. Once again, more bowling coming up in just a little bit. 8:30 p.m. Eastern, the final 4-game block of the day.
Yes, sir. And we're going to have 3 more days just like this one here today, coming up for you Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I know bowling lives here, but I think we live here too now.
I actually built a tiny fort with a pillow from the hotel with all the Pelican cases that we have here at Expo. So I'll just be hanging out here nonstop.
A little jealous of that one.
Do have to give a big shout out to not only the centers here, their staff for joining us in these long hours over the course of Junior Gold. But there really is a great volunteer staff. Many of these folks, have given their time, their labor, their love to the sport of bowling for many years, and ask each and every year, say, "Hey, you need some help at Junior Gold?" We'd be more than willing to come out and help out, do what we can, and just so many great volunteers who enjoy seeing the next generation of the sport of bowling, enjoy helping out youth bowling. So very, very proud of those individuals who put in the long weeks with us there. Of course, all the IBC youth and USBC staff taking care of business. All right, looks like game 4 now underway here at Expo Bowl. So again, this is the U18 boys division. Their 4th and final game of the day.
Yeah, most of the centers have moved over into the 4th game now. Over here at Strike Force, I've got a lot of lanes are about halfway through the game, and some are just beginning here. Again, we've got 16 total streams for you if you're just joining us here on Bowl TV, 4 from each center. We are camped out. I'm at Strike Force. Aaron Smith is over at Expo Bowl. Curtis Von Kruger is manning the ship over at All-Star. And to those of you that are big fans of Clint Eastwood, that's right. We've got JT over at Western Bowl. I'm glad somebody could do it.
Hey, man. Years of developing that talent.
Bobby, I sold the ranch. After we conclude tonight's final squad of day 1 qualifying at 8:30 is when we'll start. All the athletes will have 25% of their qualifying games completed.
That's a quarter of their qualifying games.
It is.
So you're saying there's 3 more qualifying blocks after this?
There are 4 each day. And it'll be brand new lane patterns for each.
So, quick question. Just so we can enlighten myself and the viewers. The same pattern is put out each day for all competitors, correct?
In each center, yeah. And then the competitors move from center to center.
Yes, it is based off a division. So if for instance, some of our houses will have multiple divisions. Like today, I have all U18 boys. So everyone competing on the A side of the facility has bowled on the same pattern today. Everyone on the B side has bowled on the same pattern all day. But then when the U15 girls come here in a couple days, they'll have their own pattern regardless of what side of the house they're on. So, but yeah, if you've had the same age group and boys or girls throughout the course of the block, then it's been the same oil pattern. So a good opportunity for folks who are bowling later in the day, knowing that they were going to be competing at Expo or Western, home of Clint Eastwood, to potentially tune into the live stream, see how some folks are playing it. We've had some big scores up here at each of the centers so far, so there's been opportunities for folks to go out and learn a little bit about what they may be seeing when they hit this center, hit this pattern in one of the next 3 days.
Ho, 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 ho. What's this learning you're speaking of there, Aaron Smith?
I like learning.
No, learning's pretty great.
And if you want to make me really happy, and you live local or you're in town visiting and don't mind making a small purchase, we get to look at each other on our screens in the background while we full screen it. And we get to kind of look at everybody around. And my name is associated, it says Mike Flanagan. Curtis Von Kruger is K-Dog. Aaron Smith is Aaron Smith. But JT is JT at Western Bowl. Just to make sure we know that he's over there at Western Bowl, that he's the big man on campus over there.
Yeah.
And I want to look down in that little screen and see him wearing a cowboy hat with headphones on. So if anybody has an extra cowboy hat laying around that could drop that off to Western Bowl, it would just tickle my fancy all day long to see JT down in this little window with a cowboy hat on with the headphones over the top of the cowboy hat. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm sure he can make a modification with a small Dremel tool to get that thing to just sit up there nicely. Please bring JT at Western Bowl the hat that he deserves, a cowboy hat.
You know,
JT at Western Bowl, everyone.
have you seen Dumb and Dumber, Mike Flanagan?
Oh, have I seen it?
I just want the cowboy hat Jim Carrey comes out of the grocery store with.
Yep.
Robbed by a little old lady in a motorized cart. That's what I want JT to be wearing at Western Bowl. Just this ridiculous.
I was thinking maybe one of those little red ones that you could get at Walmart in the kids section.
Oh yeah, like a Woody Woody, from Toy Story style hat.
Yeah. I'm just tickled over here at 5:55 in the afternoon, which is what time I left my hotel this morning to drive over here. 5:55 a.m. I'm running right at 12 hours now, and I just get this tickle thinking about JT in a cowboy hat with his sign-on name that he had to type in for us to read every time I look down there. JT at Western Bowl.
At Western Bowl.
Yep. So now he's kind of off scenes right now, the way he's got himself set up right now. So just trust that he's listening, but he can't talk right now. But he would come back probably right now and say, well, at least I'm not the guy that had his name in there as the management earlier in the week. Which I did. I had my name in as the management because there's always these notes laid around in businesses that says, please don't bring in food or drink. Dash the management. Don't take our bowling shoes. The management.
Don't steal catalytic converters off our rental cars.
Exactly. Thank you, Rick.
Management.
The management. It's my favorite.
That's oddly specific, Curtis.
Truly is my favorite.
I'm just shooting from the hip, just off the cuff.
Yeah. Catalytic converters. Hey, I just had a score dash. I ordered score dash because I was hungry for some scores. And I got it the same DoorDash driver that I've been getting most of the season, no matter what city I'm in. And it's Rick Barbera.
Oh, RB.
Yeah, RB.
Is there a man who knows more about scoring units than Rick Barbera?
Probably not.
I don't know.
So Brooklyn Boudreaux, who we just saw and we cut over here, she's now leading the squad at 83 over after 3 games.
Yeah.
Kathleen Edwards is plus 59. Melanie Hilbert is plus 32. Jennifer Klontz is plus -0. And those are the 4 players that are even or better, averaging 200 or more currently. Maya Duhamel, 597. Kara Kay, 596. Megan Kennedy, 592. Haley Jansky, 591. That's the scores from over here, guys.
All right. We are wrapping up our 4th game over here at All Star. These kids get after it.
I am now ordering on Amazon a paddle with a rubber ball on a string. Also,
Yeah. I got worms. I could do this all day. And in fact, I think we will.
Melanie Hilbert, where is she from? I can work on that.
Do a little sleuthing.
Yep.
Nice.
What channel is Melanie Hilbert bowling on? That's a good question, too. I'll work on that. I'll be right back. Melanie Hilbert is from Wisconsin, and if you want to watch her complete her fourth game of qualifying, she has the 9th and 10th frame left. You can go over to Strikeforce #1 and watch the conclusion of her round. She's got a pretty good game going, too.
Hey, Ryan. Sure. Doesn't matter, but I think they got to fix it.
And just like that, we are wrapped over here at All-Star. I know you guys are still got some action over there. I'm a little jealous, not going to lie. But we will have our next block over here at 8:30. You guys can catch us then. Until then, Curtis Von Kruger signing off here at All-Star Lanes. See you when the action happens at 8:30.
Thanks, Curtis.
Curtis, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
We'll bring back in JT. JT at Western Bowl joins us.
Yes. Hello. Did I miss anything?
Nope, not a thing at all. But if you get a present delivered tomorrow, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of presents,
Yes, sir.
I know that just a little while ago we uploaded some video of Jillian Martin bowling her first certified 300 game earlier today here at Junior Gold, and we'll also be able to play that video right here for you on Bowl TV. But if you hadn't had a chance to see it, we actually have Jillian Martin mic'd up this week at Junior Gold, and we're following her around for a documentary that we're putting together. And Jillian being Jillian, flair for the dramatic comes out right out of the gate first day and bowls 300. So we'll get a shot of that before we wrap up this round here. And then we'll have one more round of, not really a round, it's a couple of squads that will be bowling their opening 4 games of qualifying in round 1 here at Junior Gold.
She really went out. Game 1. After leading the U20 division as a 14-year-old 2 years ago in Detroit. And just says, hey, everybody, remember me? I do cool things. I'm Jillian Martin, 300. Boom. Of course, had the 299 at the PWBA Kickoff Classic Series. And during that moment, we found out she had not rolled a certified 300 game to that point, which was shocking. And somehow, since that event, and now, she still hadn't rolled one. Now she's on the board.
Yeah, and she
At
talked
Junior
about that in the video that we're going to play about her near misses. She's had a few recently, front 11s, but they all seem to happen in really big events.
She doesn't shy away from the moment.
No. But we haven't seen the results yet from the U18, the second squad earlier today. But Amanda Najokas had a big day. Actually shot 168 over. So
Wow.
even with a 300 game, Jillian still would have had some work to do to take over the lead over there. Amanda, former junior gold champion herself.
Mm-hmm.
And also qualified for another TV show.
I believe that was in Detroit.
That's right. And she won the U12 division a few years back and then qualified for the show in Detroit. So she's had one of the all-time best junior gold careers in the history of this event.
Amanda now also part of the storied tradition at the University of Vanderbilt. Collegiate competitor for the Commodores. So we're winding down. Round number 3. Just a couple frames left in each of our divisions.
Yeah, one more set of squads today for day 1 of qualifying. We'll be back at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time to bring that to you. 16 channels of coverage once again. And over at my place, Western, we'll have 2 squads of U15 girls. At Expo on the A side, we'll have a U18 boys squad. All-Star has a couple of U12 girls squads. And Strike Force will have a U15 boys squad.
I'm not going to lie, guys. I know it was cool that we had the 300 from Jillian. I'm going to go out on a limb, just based off of what I've seen throughout the course of the day here at Expo. I've had the U18 boys division for each round so far. And we are getting close to a massive number, or to a big game. So my bold prediction is that all my walking back and forth across both sides of the center is going to pay off, because we're going to have a 300 game in the last block.
Okay.
U18 boys have been striking a bit.
Yeah.
Someone's going to put it all together for one game here.
I think you're right.
Looks like all of our Strike Force channels have been closed down as well, so. So I think now's the opportunity for us to check out this Jillian Martin 300. Video currently on our social media channels. JT says it's loaded up. There it is. All right, folks. Sit back, enjoy. Jillian Martin, the young standout. Her first 300 game.
shot. Woo! Come on. Woo! Come on. Hey! Woo! Congrats!
After 7 overtimes, the game is finally over.
Oh, shut up!
We ain't done yet. We got one more game to go.
I know. Congrats.
Oh my God! I never thought I'd see it.
I did it!
I had to stay back because I didn't want to move. I didn't want to jinx you. I had to stay way back.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Streak's over. Now
Woo! We did it!
Great job.
Thank you. Honestly, I've gotten there like a few times recently, and for me, it's just like, I'm shooting 300 this time. I'm done shooting 290. We're gonna go up there. We're gonna make a good shot. And we're gonna get it done. I had the front 11 out at the PWBA in January, and that was kind of my first time ever having front 11. Came out with the 299, shot a 297 in March, shot another 299 back in the end of May, and then out here, so we're fourth front 11, and we finally got it done, so it was pretty cool. I had switched balls going into that pair, so I'm not really sure how that ball would have looked on the prior pair, but I think it would have been pretty good over there too. And I just had a lot of misroom out. I had some misroom in. I could kind of change my rotation a little bit, still get the ball to the pocket and have it just look great through the pin. So I just felt like I had a lot of room to miss, and it just kind of combined for a great game. So my dad and my grandpa, my mom, they were all back there. My coach was obviously back there. So it was really cool to have them all here and just be able to experience it with them all.
There it is, folks. I'm not gonna lie. My favorite part of that entire thing was the little yells that she did.
Oh
after.
yeah, absolutely.
That was so awesome that she was mic'd up and you could hear her excitement for each one of those.
Yeah.
That was great, and I know folks have been since that performance at the Kickoff Classic Series. That that was back in January. That was 6 months ago now, and that's still the question that pops up every week on the PWBA tour. When is Jillian Martin going to be back? Well, she's finally back on the national stage here at a USBC youth event. 1 game in, 300. Unbelievable.
That was really cool. Really, really cool. And I agree. That spontaneous reaction after each strike. Woo! I mean, Curtis, you just got you. I saw the smile on your face the whole time as you were watching that video. It was pretty cool.
It is such a pleasure because you know just how special of a player she is, like top to bottom. But what people don't see is how much work that young lady puts into her game and how much focus she has to perform at the level she performed at. And these these PBWBA players are got to be looking over their shoulders, looking over their back shoulder, looking and saying, "Hey, she's coming for us." And it's not a question of if; it's a question of when. And just to see her throw those shots and to see the excitement, it has to bring a smile to your face. There's nothing else to it. Just the elation of so many years of hard work, and for it to pay off in such a way like that, it's beyond delightful to see.
Yeah, no, it was awesome, and I'll tell you, we take it for granted a little bit too much with some of these players that are great players, and we assume that somebody like Jillian is going to win this week, but she is not taking it for granted one bit. I mean,
No.
she's out there, trying on every shot, paying attention on every shot. I love the shot there. Will Clark, her coach, reminding her, "Hey, you still got a couple more games to go here, so let's not get too crazy." But I mean, it's just really cool that, you know, we can come in here, we can predict that somebody's going to do well, but you still have to actually go out and bowl on these very difficult, very demanding patterns and produce in order to have a successful week. And if you don't, you got to wait till next year, you know, to try it again. So there's a lot of pressure to be able to come out here and do well, and for her to come out and shoot 300 the first day, it's just remarkable.
What do they say? That greatness is never given and the rent's always due.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it's so true. And you know, I saw Will earlier in the week. I was at Expo doing some testing, and when I first got in, I got off the plane and I went over there. And you want to talk about great players? And I went over there, and guess who's bowling? It was Gigi Mason and Julia Bond out there on the lanes, putting time in, working with their coach, playing, working. And that's the type of player, right? The players that are great don't take it for granted, like you said, and they put the work in, and it's just built into their DNA. And you see Jillian as one of those players. She is one of those players that is going to put the legwork in to get her to. I mean, the sky's the limit, right? Where is her ceiling? We don't know yet, and it's going to be fun to watch her continue to push the boundaries. She throws it so well. I love the way her swing loops. Everything is really just fun to watch. And so I can't wait till she gets back out on the PBA tour. You know, I'm out there, you know, week in, week out, grinding out there with them, and I can't wait to see her bowl.
Yeah, you just want to see how well she's going to do against, you know, the best in the world. She's already done great. She almost won 2 titles at the Kickoff Classic. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. Hope you all enjoyed it at home. That's going to wrap up the coverage here from the third squad of qualifying here on day 1 at Junior Gold. We've got one more coming up at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Aaron Smith, what do the folks have to look forward to the rest of today?
You kind of ran down for us right there, JT. One final squad left to go. We'll be back once again at 4 of the 6 centers, 16 lanes covered at each, 64 lanes of coverage total available here on bowltv.com, something we have never done. This is the new record for us, folks. So we have never streamed this many pairs in our history. So this is pretty cool. You're a part of that. You're a part of this great tournament coming back once again. And this showcase of the top youth competitors across the land coming here to Indianapolis, competing, hoping to get spots in Junior Team USA and more. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. It's just about 6:30 local time, so we're going to have about 2 hours off the air to get ready for this final block. But you know, we have to give a big thank you to all the folks who make this happen. Of course, the USBC and BPAA and their board of directors for their continued support. Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider of USBC and the Junior Gold Championships. The folks who are out here oiling the lanes, I know the practice days were pretty crazy for them. So their schedule a little bit nicer now for the rest of the way out, but they put in so much time, so much effort. So a big shout out to them, of course. We got Motive, Brunswick, Rotogrip, and Storm, our gold industry partners as well. Of course, the competitors. They've been looking forward to this now for essentially 2 years to get back to Junior Gold, and it's been fun to see the dedication, the effort, just everything that they've put forward to make this week happen. Big shout out to the parents as well. We know sometimes, you know, the block has its ups and its downs. You have your strikes and your splits, but all the parents out here supporting these young athletes are great. Of course, everybody I'm watching on Bowl TV, we appreciate you swinging on by. Like we said, we got more coming up for you. We're looking forward to it. And plenty more to come this week until we get to our finals on Saturday, July 17th. 3 shows for the divisions. So that's going to be pretty awesome. 6 champions going to be crowned on that day. So, yeah, that's going to do it for us. For the Bowl TV crew, Mike Flanagan, Curtis Von Kruger, Jason Thomas. My name's Aaron Smith. We will see you in 2 hours here from the Junior Gold Championships. And, folks, remember, on Bowl TV, bowling lives here. We'll see you soon.